Hey everyone, Chef Ralph here, and welcome to Chef Ralph's Realm. Today I'm bringing you another fall and holiday favorite of mine, and this one, vegetarian. I don't do vegetarian dishes very often, but my sister's vegetarian, and sometimes I like to feed her as well. I don't know. So, one thing pretty synonymous with the holiday is chestnuts. So today what I'm doing is a roasted chestnut bisque, or soup. We're going to call it a chestnut bisque because the texture of this should be absolutely beautiful, silky smooth. So chestnuts, if you've never worked with them, it's kind of a process to get them prepped. So what you're going to want to do is score them on the top, just in case anybody hasn't seen a chestnut in a while. This is, your standard Italian chestnut. They're really very pretty. I kind of have fuzzy memories of a neighbor of mine who had a chestnut tree. Would get chestnuts to the point they'd be everywhere. They would actually do like a garland with chestnuts and then rub them with stain because they're really very pretty and they are tasty. So this is what they look like in the beginning, and then you're going to score them with like an X on the top. Don't really have to cut them all the way through. And then you're going to steam them. And once they're steamed, then they open up much easier. And then once they open them up, they're going to look something like this. And then after they're steamed, then you want to roast them. So it is a process, but it is worth it in the end, in my opinion, at least. So for this soup, I just kept a couple of them separate so you could see them. The rest of them I've already processed into a couple different forms. These are the pretty peeled ones. I also have another container of ones that just kind of broke apart. It happens. You kind of just go with it. So on the stove, what we're going to do is start with a stick of butter and about a cup of onions. I've already chopped up the onions. I spent countless times peeling and chopping just so I didn't have to bore you with it here. So let's get to that. Turn the stove on. So we're gonna start with a stick of butter, and then this is about a cup of onions. You don't want to go. This is a fairly basic recipe. You don't really want to overpower the chestnuts. They have a very almost hazelnut mild taste. So we're not going to go strong flavors. We're just going to try to bring out the flavor of the chestnut itself. So we're going to throw that in there. All right, we're going to let the onions sweat. We don't really want to caramelize them. We just want them to turn translucent. All right, once we've got the onions pretty much translucent, we're going to throw in our chestnuts. This is going to be about 2 pounds unprocessed. I didn't weigh them after I processed them, so I'm not 100% sure what the weight is. But if you buy 2 pounds of chestnuts, process them the way I said, the yield, this is what you're going to use. So we're going to throw in the whole chestnuts. And then my chestnut pieces, which are not pretty. I just have them in this container. Didn't think I would be bringing them on the camera. But then I realized I don't want to edit it out. So we're just going natural, folks. I screwed these up. They're still usable, but they're not pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to add the vegetable stock. This is 1 box container of vegetable stock. I forget how much is in a box. One box of your favorite vegetable stock. I don't know what that is, but that's going to come out. And that's going to come out. If little bits of things float to the top, just grab them out. All right, we're going to bring this up to a simmer and let it go for about 25 minutes. We'll see you when we come back. All right, guys, so now we've got that simmered for about 25 minutes, half an hour. As you saw, you should be able to mash the chestnuts. Now we're going to put it through a blender. You know what? Let's just go all in. Chance that a little bit. All right. Okay, so what we've got now is a super thick and creamy. It's almost like baby food at this point, but that's what you want because we're going to be adding heavy cream to it and a little mascarpone cheese. That'll brighten it up with a little bit of a tang. So I'm going to quickly wash out the pot that this just came out of. All right, so now we're going to put this back into the pot. I would give it a little taste to see if you wanted to adjust your salt levels. Wow. That is insane. All right, let's we're going to go back to the stove. We're going to go back to the stove. Then we're going to add mascarpone cheese. This is about a quarter of a cup. And then we're going to add some heavy cream. Oh, what was that? Where did I get this really cool all-glass milk container? I got it at the thrift shop. I find a lot of my cool stuff at the thrift shop. Saw it and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to use it, but here we are. Heavy cream. And yeah, we're just going to stir and then bring it back up to a simmer. Oh, I almost forgot. What we're going to add now is that little secret to get people to go, what is that? That's delicious. What is that? The answer? The answer is nutmeg. We're going to do just a couple little taps of the nutmeg on your micro grater. All right, folks. And there you have it. Let's get it off the stove. Let's bring it over here. This is, I mean, super rich, super decadent. I mean, do you see how this is ladling? Wow, unbelievable. All right, let's dig in with this. It's sweet, it's nutty, it's beyond rich. I mean, beyond rich. This is decadence at its finest. Wow. And it's vegetarian. Excuse me. It's vegetarian. I'm choking. I can't even believe it's vegetarian. Crazy. Yeah, guys, this, if you're looking for a vegetarian option, chestnuts, when they come around, when you see them, this is what you want to make. I'm Chef Ralph. This is Chef Ralph's Realm, bringing you another holiday favorite. Enjoy your holidays from my family to yours. If you like my content, give a like, subscribe, and follow. Have a great day.